Hello and welcome to this video about the National Mediator Accreditation and Facilitative Mediation. I'm Joanne Law, the Director of Mediation Institute, and I'm going to talk a little bit about conflict and conflict styles, the 3-stage, 9-step mediation process, the National Mediator Accreditation System, and a little bit about our approach to teaching mediation. People often talk about disputes and conflicts as if the terms are interchangeable, but they're really part of an escalation of disharmony that exists between peace and war. As you can see in this model, there are many steps along the way where escalation can be stopped and a de-escalation occur. This model looks like war is inevitable, but the other option when the escalation gets intolerable is that people sever the relationship. Employees leave, relationships break down, business relationships fail as people decide that they can't overcome their disagreements and the problems that they're facing and opt out. To the left of the model you have the escalation steps and to the right the interventions. We could spend a full session just on this model, but I won't today. The 3 points I want to make are: when conflict escalates, an intervention is needed, or else it will continue to escalate, or the relationship will be irreparably damaged. The earlier you deal with a difference of opinion or disagreement, the easier it is to deal with. And mediation is a process where people talk to each other, but it's often offered at a time when talking to each other is the last thing that people want to do. The mediation process is designed to overcome that challenge. And when we can get both sides to engage in the process, it has a very high success rate. Mediation is a facilitative process, which means the mediator doesn't have the power or ability to determine the outcome. We're not a judge or an arbitrator who listens to people's arguments and then makes a decision on your behalf. Our role is to help people to reach, worst, a compromise and at best a collaborative outcome that both find very acceptable. In mediation, it's a confidential process where people have the space to talk, explore options, and ideally come up with a solution that's acceptable to both. At Mediation Institute, we teach a 3-stage, 9-step process. The first stage is about setting the scene, making sure that everyone understands expectations, roles, and the process that they'll be participating in, providing an opportunity for the people who have the issues to talk uninterrupted about what they'd like to resolve, and forming an agenda. The next stage is about understanding the issues, clearing up any misunderstandings, miscommunications, and helping each side try and really understand the issues from the other person's perspective. Once that's achieved, it's a process of starting to develop some options and consider them against whatever each side thinks are important, and try to work towards some sort of an acceptable outcome. At some point during this process, there'll be private sessions where each side will be able to talk privately and confidentially with the mediator to think about what's happened, reflect, perhaps generate some more options that they bring back to the joint session, and generally work towards a resolution. The third stage is really looking at the reality of the options and proposals that are being made and working towards an agreement. If an agreement is reached, it depends on the context, but generally the mediator will write down in the participants' words what they've agreed or what next steps they've agreed to take. And then the mediator will draw the session to an end. The process I've described is a facilitative mediation process, which is the standard process prescribed in the NMAS mediator standards for the training and accreditation. The training requires at least 9 roles, 3 as the mediator, and an assessment which needs to run for 90 minutes. That's a role play assessment. and also theory to make sure you do understand the principles behind mediation. It is a system that requires reaccreditation every 2 years, and there are requirements regarding practice hours and professional development. There are also ethical standards that establish the role of the mediator. It's a voluntary industry standard, but is very well regarded and often required for mediator, conciliator, and complaint handling or similar roles. You can find out more about the National Accreditation System from the Mediator Standards Board website or the Mediation Institute website. We established Mediation Institute to make mediation training more accessible. To do that, we offer our delivery online via video meetings and online learning, and we have very flexible arrangements. The theory is delivered via self-paced online learning, and the skills are developed during live mentored role plays using the Zoom video meeting platform. We take an individualised approach to skills development. Some people learn through doing and require little more than practice via the role plays. Others find learning or unlearning more challenging and take advantage of individual mentoring or group sessions, which we offer regularly. Our course includes the training and assessment with the option for reassessment at no extra cost if you do fail your assessment. It's usually not needed, as knowing you have a second chance reduces the stress of the assessment role play, so that most of our applicants perform well and do pass their assessment at the first time. If you are interested in becoming a nationally accredited mediator, you're able to start straight away. There are no prerequisite requirements for this training. Basically, if you have an interest, you're able to train and become a mediator. You can enrol online immediately or contact us if you'd like some more information.